Hey guys, great that you're here together with us again for the 6th episode of Genesis Live webinar. This time is a very special time, and as always we had a lot of work to do, so that we decided this time to pre-record the video, only I think about 2 hours before, so it doesn't change basically anything. I hope you will enjoy this episode, and for the future we are thinking about for ensuring an even better quality to also pre-record videos in the future. Thanks a lot, and enjoy this episode of Genesis Live. Till next time.
Hello everybody, welcome to the 6th webinar of Genesis Mining. Thanks for joining us today, and we have some great news and exciting topics we'll talk about today. First, we'll discuss the Bitcoin conference in Miami next week, and afterwards we will give you an update about our mainstream campaign in the US and also introduce our brand new project. And last but not least, we'll talk about X11 and Ethereum mining contracts, and also give you some actual numbers, so it will be really interesting. First, we should talk about the conference, and Marco.
Sure. Yes, we have an exciting time coming up. Directly to the start of the year, we will be very present at the upcoming Bitcoin conference in Miami, which will surely be one of the main conferences this year. And there will be interesting talks, interesting panel discussions, and we will also have a booth, exhibition booth there. So if you're interested to see us live, it would be really great if you can just come by and visit us at our booth. And as a very big special, on top of that, we're going to do a big raffle, and you probably want.
Yes, we are giving away 15 free tickets. So if you're interested, just send an email to live@genesismining.com with the subject line, I want free tickets, or I want tickets to the conference, whatever.
So that's a great opportunity for you to be there, be at the spot where the whole community meets, and try your best. Just send us a quick mail to live@genesismining.com.
Yeah, and definitely come by and say hi to us. We're both there. The next thing would be the update on the mainstream campaign. What could you tell about that?
Sure, yeah. So a quick update on the campaign. I mean, you all know we had this very big campaign running in the last months, where we really took the big public gathering spots all over the US in the main cities. We had, for example, this very large several larger billboards on the main roads near San Francisco. We had a lot of other things, taxi ads in Manhattan. We had people, the sandwich man. We had people going out and having the flipper ads. A lot of other stuff. We saw really great photos of you guys that saw the ads and sent it to us, and a lot of big articles have been published about it as well. And we're really glad to really make Bitcoin more popular and bring the whole topic closer to the mainstream people, and attract some excitement.
We basically had the same goal with our previous blog posts. We covered a lot of misconceptions about Bitcoin. We wanted to familiarize the masses with the concept, and these both pointed to the direction of our brand new project, which is the Bitcoin Education Center.
Yeah, sure. So that's another point on top of that. We are going to soon announce a project that aims to bring to educate people about Bitcoin, and it will be called the Bitcoin Education Center. And what we're going to be making there is some nice videos with really high quality content of an introduction to Bitcoin for really the newcomers that are not so familiar, but also, of course, the ones that are more advanced already. I'm sure that it will be interesting for them as well. And on top of that, we're going to provide really interviews with really the key people from the Bitcoin economy, but also with market leaders in markets where Bitcoin has the potential to expand in. This is, in my opinion, of particular interest. So we will have some key person from remittance market where Bitcoin has huge potential, and other experts in these fields. I'm already very excited about this, and we will of course announce more in the future, but this is something that we're all looking forward.
Yeah, and parallel to that, to strengthen the effect, we are also continuing the mainstream campaign, so there will be a second round, right?
Yes, right. We're going to. That was what I just explained with the billboards, with the whole public gathering ads all over the U.S. That was the first stage, and since that was so popular and we got so much attention out of that, of course we want to use that and push it to a next level. And this is what we're going to do very soon. We're going in the second round of this campaign and trying to get even more adoption and really push it to another level. And we already have some great ideas. Of course, we will get updated with blog posts and with various on various other ways. But I can already tell you can be very excited what ideas we have to bring Bitcoin to the masses. And I'm very happy that we are kind of opinion leader or leader in the Bitcoin market that is pushing this effort. I would hope if other companies would join us there. Of course, there are a lot of some other bigger companies that are doing these efforts. We want to support them as well. And the more attraction we can bring to the masses, the better it is for the whole economy.
The next topic would be the most exciting one, and that is the Ethereum and X11 mining contracts.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. That's actually something that we did never look at so closely in a webinar. But it's good that you mention it, because especially the altcoin contracts. I mean, we started with the X11 mining, I think in September. Ethereum mining followed shortly, and we already knew at the beginning that it's a very attractive offer, and that it has huge potential. Of course, there is risk as with all the investments in Bitcoin or Bitcoin-related products and in mining in general. But what we knew that the pricing is very aggressive, especially for X11 and also Ethereum. With aggressive, I'm meaning that our prices that for a whole year of mining, we had prices that were 3 times lower than if you would just purchase a GPU rig. So, as you know, I mean, X11 is still mined on GPU. So, if you want to mine X11 at home, you would need to purchase motherboards, GPUs, and all the computer accessories. And if you would do that and compare it later with the price of a mega hash on our side, you would realize that it would be more than 3 times expensive when you're doing it at home. And that not even looking at the electricity rate. So this, of course, was only possible for us because we already had these massive capacities of GPUs from our earlier script mining days and from other projects. So we were happy to make this opportunity available for everybody by launching the X11. And now, we are in a position that we have about 100 days of mining, and we can really show some results how the performance was, and it looks really good. So we expected that it looks good, but we didn't expect that it's looking so good. One key point of it, of course, is that for X11 especially, the Dash prices were very strong, and also the difficulty for mining Dash kept constant, which is not that special. We thought about that because there is no ASIC technology in this market, Make a long story short, let's look at the numbers concretely. I've prepared them here, and then you can all see the performance and the payouts, the historical payout data. Let me directly get the laptop here, and let's look at this together. So what we are seeing here is I've prepared a spreadsheet where you can see here the payouts of our X11 coins, Bitcoin, concretely Bitcoin, Dash, and Star, as well as the dollar equivalent and the dollar equivalent cumulative. We are ranging, the time frame is going from the 27th of September until the 10th of January this year. By the time I was, now we're looking at around a Bitcoin price of $430 roughly per Bitcoin, and the dollar value here that you see is respecting, is assuming this price. So you get the dollar value just multiplying the Bitcoin value with 430, and then you end up here with the dollar value. Of course, the numbers don't show too much. It's not so much of an overview that you get, but that's why we have here I've prepared some charts here, which makes the performance and the data much more visible. And what you can see here is all the historical payouts for 1 mega hash of X11 in Bitcoin at the first chart, in dollar at the second chart. This is a trivial thing, of course, because this is just multiplied by a constant number of 430, so it looks exactly the same. And which is probably much more exciting here is the cumulative chart of mining with 1 mega hash started from the 27th of September until now, so which is roughly around 105 days. And when you look at the cumulative chart now here, you would see that we have roughly earned around $9 in this 105 days, which is, in my opinion, a remarkable result. If you look at the prices for X11, mining X11 for 1 year, you quickly realize that this has a high attractivity and high promise to reach or to get a very promising result out of that, because it just you have the prediction for 105 days, and let's see if it's just continuing like this, you will. Everybody will be more than happy with the results that they get from it. Another thing I definitely want to show, which I think is very interesting, which is a picture of a user that I read in our forum thread in Bitcoin Talk, and this is here. And what you can see here is he charted the Ferox and the Graviton contract. So what you can see here is the line that the payout, where you would have to be to break even on the contract within a year. So if you are following, for example, the gray line, that would mean that the gray line is exactly the line where you are making a break even on the contract if you are there, and also on the Ferox. Of course, the Graviton line is lower than the Ferox line because the Graviton is cheaper, is more discounted than the Ferox, and therefore you need to have lower payouts to make a break even. But the very special and exciting part here, of course, is that the payout, the actual payout, which is graphed here in the blue line, is significantly higher than both of the lines, which makes it very clearly and visible that it's a very promising thing, which means that if the trend continues like this, everybody, people with the Ferox, people with the Graviton, have a very attractive and promising future returns and a good a chance of a very nice investment. Of course, what the future will bring us, we will see. but I'm very, very happy that the numbers are looking like this.
So then we only have the Q&A section now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Your first question is, what is your stance on the block size debate?
Oh, okay. So the block size debate, I mean, we have talked about it a lot already in previous webinars and blog posts and in forum discussions. It's justified that we talked about it so much because it is a critical topic in Bitcoin. It makes the future of Bitcoin. What will be decided now and which action steps are going to be taken now are deciding the future of Bitcoin. So there is one solution that was proposed, which is very active right now. It's called the Bitcoin Classic approach, and if you want to look it up, you can just go on www.bitcoinclassic.com and read about this proposal. Summarizing it, it's very simple. It's actually just saying that, or the solution looks like you just take Bitcoin as it is at the moment, and you just increase the block size to 2 megabyte. This would require a hard fork, but in my opinion, a hard fork is not that dramatic. And if it helps to scale Bitcoin, this of course is an important step, and we very much favor this solution and approach, and we already signed for it. Of course, now other miners and other nodes have to agree with this, and we have to reach consensus in order to go forward in that direction. But it's looking already very good, and I think it's a great approach, and it was good that this initiative came now, because we had a long discussion and we didn't find a solution so far, and really it got really pressing because we really are reaching the limit of Bitcoin now, and I mean. There are people that say that it would be better if Bitcoin stays small, but it's clearly not in the interest of us, in the interest of other major companies in Bitcoin. We of course want Bitcoin to grow and want to scale it. And have a look at the site. We are voting for that. We will go in this direction, and we of course hope that there will be consensus. And this will be the solution. If it's not Bitcoin Classic, then maybe, and that would of course do it as well. Bitcoin Core is deciding that this proposal, Bitcoin Classic proposal, is the right one, and they would favor it, and then we're staying at the same repository.
All right. Next question is, what happened to the website?
Yes, so the website, as you know, we had some downtime on the website. This was caused due to, I would say, I mean, we had a very high load and demand in the recent months and weeks, especially in December around Christmas. It was just constantly much higher than we could have expected. This is just one reason why our servers were affected in a way that which caused the downtime. I think most of to be very honest, I mean, most of this downtime was just our fault as well. But I mean, we're back up. The site is on again, and as a small gift, or how can I say, sign of appreciation that everything went well, we are giving out and we have sent the emails already, so you have the notification. We are giving out a promo code which gives a discount of 12%, which is the highest promo code we have ever given out. It will be available on all products, and this is for the users that have experienced this downtime. And everybody who registered so far can use this code. It's
and we just want to say thank you for your patience.
Yes. So thanks a lot, and I think the most important thing is really, and this is what we directly said at the from the beginning, nothing bad happened, and there was surely no kind of foreign entity having caused this. It's all good. There's no problems, and it's all fixed by now as well. The site is back up.
But let's move on with the next question. What are your top predictions for Bitcoin this year?
Well, as you know, I mean, I'm a long-term believer in Bitcoin. In my opinion, Bitcoin on the really longer scale will be, how can I say, either there is a superior technology, or really Bitcoin is getting the mainstream adoption that I think it has the potential for it. In that case, obviously the Bitcoin prices should be much higher than it is now. I mean, we're still in a very small niche market. The market capacity is at the moment around $5 billion, which on a global scale is nothing. And with this reasoning, I see Bitcoin really as a long-term investment and as a very high potential investment. So the price, I wouldn't wonder if the price is going 10 times or even further. Regarding this concrete next year, I think it's very difficult to predict, and I don't want to give a concrete number because later on you will always be blamed for that. And it doesn't really matter what is in the near future. The perspective and the prediction is the more important thing here. But I wouldn't wonder if the Bitcoin price would really go above $1,000 within this year. I think it has the potential. It can easily be. I wouldn't wonder.
Yeah, definitely. I want that too. What about altcoins? For this year, like what are your predictions for altcoins?
So regarding the altcoin market, I think there are. I mean, what I always said at from the start on when we launched, altcoin is a kind of experimental playground in a way that it brings solutions and more, how can I say, more features in the whole crypto world, and some are just experimental, but some are high potential and are really serious. And I think the two main candidates for this type of altcoins are really as an altcoin Dash. Dash is doing, the community is very active. They are really promoting their product and want to get it out. They have some really special services that are not implemented in Bitcoin. For example, with Dash, there is one service that is called Instant X, which allows you to transfer Dash instantly. So you don't have to wait for any confirmation as you need to do in Bitcoin. And there's also another functionality, which is an intrinsic mixing service, which anonymizes the transactions of Dash, so that you cannot track it. I mean, in Bitcoin you can track, you can see in the blockchain, you can follow the coins, but with this mixing service you cannot do it, which is, I think, a great innovation, and they're going forward with their innovation. Their community is very strong, and also they will be in Miami, also present on the conference. And besides Dash, I think a very high potential project in the crypto world is Ethereum. It's not directly an altcoin, it's more a Bitcoin 2.0 protocol. But Ethereum, obviously, with the smart contracts concept and with, I mean, this whole framework offers so much power and so much opportunities, writing code in a decentralized way and various other possibilities. I strongly think that Ethereum has also a very promising future. And what actually is now immediate also of great interest with regards to Ethereum is Augur. Augur is a prediction market, fully decentralized prediction market, and
but it's not an altcoin. It's a
no, it's not an altcoin. It's actually it's a service that is building on top of Ethereum, and it is important to say that because Ethereum, as attractive it might be, there needs to be use cases, and Augur is, in my opinion, one of the first candidate for being a really great use case for or using the Ethereum framework, and yeah, I mean, a decentralized prediction market. I mean, prediction markets are everywhere. It's a big market. It's people betting on future events, what will happen, who is going to be the next president, etc. And with Augur, you can do that in a decentralized way. So normally you have the central platforms, you have this as a central service, and there's always one in between the betters that is taking a cut. And that also might influence and manipulate, which is critical to say. And with Augur, these two components are knocked out, and that's why it has a huge opportunity. There's a huge opportunity there. And I hope Augur will work. We are really optimistic. We are pressing the thumbs. And yeah, I think that Dash and Ethereum, both very, very interesting projects.
Right. What do you think about mainstream media being more in favor of the blockchain technology than Bitcoin?
Well, blockchain is a hot keyword at the moment in the banking world. A lot of banks are very interested in using blockchain as a technology. I still think, of course, I mean, since the banks are interested, a lot of media will also jump on this and is doing it already since quite some time now. But still, I mean, it will not go away from the Bitcoin to blockchain technology, not at all. I think this hype about blockchain technology is even swapping over to Bitcoin, of course, as the first big blockchain technology example. And people will not forget that blockchain technology was only accessible due to Bitcoin, really. I mean, if Bitcoin wouldn't be, I think blockchain wouldn't have mentioned it nowhere at the moment. So so in that way you can really say Bitcoin made the whole branch of blockchain technology available. And I'm sure, I mean, Bitcoin itself will be will be more and more promoted in the mainstream media, as well as blockchain as a separate separate or not separate, but as a different topic.
Well, I think that was it for today. Thank you very much again for joining us on this webinar. And soon we will have our next one. Don't forget to submit your questions to live@genesismining.com. And happy mining.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.